Good morning. This is a short chair yoga class. We're going to mainly focus on the upper body, but not exclusively. And this is focusing on self-compassion and compassion for others. So I'll just put my chair back a bit here. And I'll just settle into my chair and feel that I have a little string coming from the ceiling to the very tip of my tip top of my head, my crown chakra, it's called, and that I'm just settling in. And I'm using my breath to extend my body. I'm going to read a little bit from Awakening the Spine by Vanda Scaravelli, who was a student of BKS Iyengar. She says, gravity attracts a planet, and it is this very attraction which creates the lightness that gives it the ability to rotate in its spiral revolution. Each of the yoga poses is accompanied by breathing, and it is during the process of exhalation that the spine can stretch and elongate without effort. We learn to elongate and extend rather than to pull and push. Elongation and extension can only occur when the pulling and pushing have come to an end. This is the revolution. For this revolution to occur, the muscles must not be activated through tension or effort, but only through the much more powerful wave of extension, which is produced by gravity and breathing. We make use of the force of anti-force, which gives us a new flow of energy, a sort of anti-gravity reflex, like the rebounding spring of a ball bouncing off the ground. So we're going to really work with our breath this morning. And I'm going to inhale, and I'm going to fill up my belly, and then my chest, and then I'm hooking my fingers into my armpits and filling out my chest, my upper chest here. So and then exhalation. So it's like drinking a glass of water. Fill up your belly, and then your side ribs, your front ribs, and then your upper chest. And then we're going to exhale it all out. Just let it go. And once again, we're going to fill up our belly and our side ribs and our upper chest. And let it go. And inhale and exhale. 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 And let's use our arms now. We're going to inhale and open our arms up wide. Inhale and then exhale, pushing out with our palms. And then inhale and pushing out with our palms. Inhale and pushing out with our palms. Inhale and pushing out with our palms. Good. Now we're going to do some shoulder rolls here. We're just working our body with our breath. So we're inhaling and then we're exhaling. Inhaling and we're exhaling. Inhaling and exhaling. Good. And we're taking our arms up and we're going to just do some movements that will help us loosen our shoulders a little bit. So this is just taking, you're taking your left arm on top straight, bending your right arm and drawing that shoulder, that upper arm towards your chest. And it's just opening your shoulder a little. And then we're going to open up. We're going to do the same thing on the other side, drawing that shoulder in, and you really can draw that this arm that I'm wiggling my fingers in. I guess that's your left arm in, and you can just hold it there for a moment. Good. And then we're going to come back. And now we're going to do our eagle arms. Now we're just going to hold either this, you can do this, hold onto your shoulders, and then you can walk your hands towards your spine. Let's pretend we have the arms of a spider, and we can move our arms right towards our spine here. And when we have I have my left arm on top, so I'm going to straighten my left arm, and then I'm going to straighten my right arm, and I'm clasping my hands. So you can do it. You can do it just by holding onto holding onto your. Now I'm really working to keep my back straight here, and I have my feet planted on the ground. If you have short legs, put your feet on a block, because you want to be able to press into the floor here. And you're going to be pressing your upper arms out, your hands out, and your elbows up, so that you're feeling some stretch. Now we're doing a kind of yin class here, because we're taking our time with our poses. We're developing resilience, and we're using our breath to develop a spaciousness. So there is effort in this, but our breath will help release our body. So we're inhaling through our nose and then exhaling. Inhaling and exhaling. And of course, if it becomes really painful, you can let go and you can go back into it, or you can let go and just embrace your arms, your shoulders, and shake it out. But I'm interested in how Yin Yoga invites us to feel some discomfort, and the discomfort itself builds resilience. So not to the point of pain, but to an edge, the edge of discomfort. And you play with that edge. So you might draw your arms up and out, and you feel some discomfort, and you might relax it a little, and then you might move back into it. And we're breathing here. And now we're just going to extend our arms out again and release them. That is liberation. And we'll wiggle our fingers here, and we'll shake our arms out. Good. Give them some lovely shakes here. Very good. Now we're going to stretch our arms out, and we're going to go the other way. So our right arm is on top in this one. And oops. And we're going to, well, we'll start with just holding onto our shoulders, just really walking our hands back and clasping. So you get a sense that we're actually really working with our elbows together. And now we're going to do that magical movement where we have the backs of our hands together, and then we switch. We put the palms of our hands together, and we stretch our arms up, and we stretch our hands up, and we press our hands forward, and then our elbows up. So we're working to open our shoulders here. And once again, we'll just breathe. So we'll inhale, and then we'll exhale. We'll inhale, and then we'll exhale. Inhale, and we'll exhale. Now we're going to stretch our arms up and open and down. And we're going to just let our shoulders, we're going to pretend we are in the water and we are reeds moving in the water, feeling the looseness of our limbs. Good. Very good. All right. Now we're going to work also on some joint mobility movements. This might not be something that affects all of you, but some of us are a bit arthritic. And some of us just work a lot at a keyboard and find our fingers are very problematic. So let's work with the spider fingers, just climbing up the wall. Sometimes I feel I'm climbing up the wall. We go all the way up, stretching up with our fingers, and then climbing back down. And stretching up with our fingers and climbing back down. Good. And now stretching up one more time. And now we're going to come out with our fingers, really working them. So we're mobilizing all of our finger joints here and just feeling what we feel. All right, so I'm going to shake my hands out again and shake them out, shake them out. Good. And now I'm going to press my my hand into the back of my other hand and just press and just feel that I'm opening up the wrist a little bit. Especially when we do a lot of vinyasa, we tend to overuse our wrists in one direction. So this can be quite helpful. And then this way, we'll do this way. And then we're going to take our hand and we're going to hold on to the back of our hand with our fingers, and we're going to press our thumb into that part of here where there is a muscle, and we're just going to press down at the wrist and then poke our finger into that muscle along there. And this is a really useful posture. I've been taking classes with Ron Reed, who started Downward Dog. He now lives in Costa Rica. Every once in a while I take a workshop with him, so he's always got some really good ideas. So this was one of them. I took a workshop on Sunday on arm balances, which was somewhat excruciating, but really interesting. Anyway, so there we go. So we're massaging our thumb. We can go right around to the outside of our thumb here. Good. And now we're going to do the other side and press into once again, our palm is on the back of the hand, and we're just massaging the inner part of there we go. Good. All right. So I feel better already, actually. I feel I could play the piano. All right. So let's work with our feet. Let's work with our feet and our legs. So we're going to stretch our feet out, and we're going to imagine that the arches of our feet are, we have like a round circle in our arches, and the round circle is vibrating and moving around, and it's actually allowing our arches to lift up even further, to spark movement. So as we feel our arches lift up, we're pressing into our heels and into our toe mounds, and we're drawing our toes back, and you can even widen your toes if you like extend your toes out, spread them out. And so you're pressing out through your heels, your toe mounds, you're feeling that energy of that circling round ball that's making your arches even more exaggerated. And we're pressing. So this is really activating your whole leg here. Good. And we're sitting up straight. We're trying to maintain a good back, a good axial elongation in our back. And now we're going to point our toes, stretch our toes out. And then we're going to try that again with our pressing out through our heels and our toes and our heels and our toes. Very nice. Good. And now we're going to circle our ankles around. And then we're going to circle them the other way. Very nice. Now we're going to put our feet down and we're going to lift our left leg up, and we're just going to hug our knee. So I tend to get cramps in my hip flexors in the front of my leg. So you can give yourself a little massage if that happens to you. So here we go. I'm just pulling my leg in. And then if you can hold on to your toe or hold on to your whatever and stretch your leg out. Now, if that's not easy for you, you can take a strap and you can just put it around your toe mound here and then stretch it out in front of you so that you've got, and you can open your leg out. I'm holding onto the side of my rickety chair here and I'm trying not to hit my glass of water over there. And then I'm going to bring my leg back, and then I'm going to draw my knee in so that it's externally rotated. And then I'm going to extend it out again and draw it in and extend it out. Now, if you can, you could hold on to your toe and do this. This is a good stretching movement. And we'll do this with our breath. So we're inhaling, exhaling through our nose. Inhaling, exhaling. Inhaling, exhaling. Inhaling, exhaling. Good. Lower your leg now. And we'll try the other side. So we'll, once again, you can put a strap around your foot. I'm just going to try this around like this. And you're not symmetrical. So we'll hug our leg in here for just a moment. Just hold it. Feel that generosity we can muster up for our own being in the world. As the Buddhists tell us, compassion for others emerges from compassion for ourselves. And this is an ongoing process. One of the Buddhist teachers I read, Pema Chödrön, talks about a woman in an accident, in a car accident, and how she didn't help others, and how she felt so terribly bereft afterwards, recognizing her selfish, self-protective actions. And in the end, she ended up transforming her life. So she had a much more compassionate streak the rest of her life. So let's stretch our leg out in front. Now, this may feel differently on this side. For instance, this is quite uncomfortable for me. And then I'm going to open my leg out here. I'm going to hold on to the chair so I don't fall off. I'm pressing my foot into the ground, and I'm really extending my thigh down, this thigh, so that my knee isn't bent. And then I'm going to come back, and then I'm going to go out, and then I'm going to come back, and I'm going to go out. And once again, we're going to do this opening out. So on the external rotation. So I've got my leg in here. You might have a strap here, or you could hold on to your toe or the top of your foot. And then I'm going to stretch it out. And then inhaling, and then I'm exhaling. Inhaling and exhaling. Inhaling and exhaling. Inhaling and exhaling. Inhaling and exhaling. And now I'm putting my foot down here. And I'm just going to wiggle in my chair. Settle in. Good. All right. Now, let's do some, since this is a chair yoga class this morning, I don't always do chair yoga, but there are some people who have mobility issues. I'm working with someone with Parkinson's, so this might be good for her, or a version of this, or little bits and pieces of it. I'm just pressing into my hands here. Then I'm stretching my arms up. And then I'm pressing into my hands again. Really pressing hard. And then I'm pushing up. And then I'm throwing down. Good. All right. So I have my 2 feet on the ground. And I'm going to work a little bit with some of the warrior poses. Now, I know some people have bad knees, so you'll want to do some variations on this and maybe go back to doing arm movements or something that doesn't exacerbate your knee. But I'm going to just take my left leg out, press into the ground, and we're doing this in a kind of isometric way where we're not doing too much movement here, pressing into the ground, but we are kind of in just livening up our muscles here. And now I've got my one leg out like this, and I'm going to turn and draw the back leg back so that I am on I have the stability of the chair. The back leg is, the back toes are pointed in, the front toes are pointed out. And here, I'm just going to turn and see if I can feel that this thigh is moving back so that my knee is I imagine I have a little P behind my knee and I'm trying to pop it out the other side. Now, if you tend to hyperextend, you don't need to do that. You could keep a slight bend, but most of us don't hyperextend. So you can, in fact, straighten your leg right out. All right, so we're going to straighten our arms out. We're just going to stay here for a moment and feel the strength of the warrior pose. And we're going to imagine 2 things. One, we're going to imagine BKS Iyengar teaching Vanda Scaravelli in Switzerland, where Vanda Scaravelli summered. And BKS Iyengar went to Switzerland to teach yoga to the very famous and esteemed Indian teacher Krishnamurti. And he also taught Vanda Scaravelli. So Iyengar is I found him quite militaristic, very stiff, very strong and stiff. And Vanda Scaravelli, his student, introduced a breath that was liberating and that was intended to work with gravity to extend your spine. So we're going to just stay here for a moment. We're doing a yin-ish practice, so we're holding the pose for a while. And we're going to inhale, and then we're going to exhale through our nose, and inhale and exhale. And while we're doing this, we're imagining that our breath, our inhalation, is lifting us up, and our exhalation is allowing our body to rest. And then the inhalation is expanding and lifting us up. And the exhalation is just letting us down. And we can drop our arms here and just rest for a moment. Now you can just come back however you manage and move your legs back into the front position. And we'll do a little bit of that breathing again. And we're just going to use our arms and move back and forth here. Here we go. So we're feeling that breath, the inhalation that's moving into our right ribs, and the exhalation, and now the inhalation moving into our our left ribs, and then back. Good. Okay. Now we're going to try the other side. We're going to do warrior pose on the other side. So here you're extending your left knee out. You're pressing into your left foot. And you can, well, just before we move into the whole posture, we're going to press into our left foot, lift our toes up, feel the arches, press into the heels and the toe mound, and then spread your toes out. So, and when you spread your toes out, you can see that your arch lifts up. So that sparks your whole leg here. And once again, on the back, we're just bringing our back foot out. Our toes are turned in on the diagonal. The diagonal is what feels good to you. And then we're turning our torso to face the front. And once again, we're going to press into that thigh and straighten the knee. If you hyperextend, you can bend it slightly. And we're pressing into the back foot, the outer edge of the back foot, and we're pressing into the toe mound. You can lift your toes up, and the heel in the front. And we're going to extend our arms out. And this itself is an accomplishment because it takes a lot of effort to keep our arms out. Now, and we're pressing through our fingers. I've got my fingers really extended so that they're all stretched out here. And press, press, press. And at the same time, there is this sense of strength and of power, because it's a very powerful pose. There's also a sense that we are like trees moving in the wind with our breath. So we're inhaling and we're exhaling. And I'm imagining, this is strictly an imaginative exercise, that my breath comes in to my lower lungs, to my ribs, and to my chest. And as I exhale, it goes out again. But I'm imagining that the breath comes all the way to the perineum that's on the chair, that my whole body is like a lung. So I'm inhaling, filling up, and then exhaling. Once again, it's a very strong movement with your hands, with your arms, and you're pressing back with that back thigh, pressing into the floor with both feet, and we're breathing. We're imagining we're just a giant lung with eyes and nose and a mouth. Good. And now we're going to stretch out, 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 stretch out, 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 drop the back hand, and you can drop your forearm to the thigh, and you can stretch that arm over into a side angle. And we're going to really feel, once again, we're pressing into the outer edge of the back leg, pressing into that thigh, and we're rotating our chest open here towards the ceiling. We're having a breathathon. We're breathing deeply into that. We're going to the right. We're breathing deeply into the left chest. And I'm holding onto the chair here, which you can do. It's easier. And now we're opening that arm up, and we're coming back into that beautiful warrior pose. And then we're going to come back down. And we're going to scooch our feet over to the front. And we're just going to jiggle a bit. I've got a very nice hair. All right. So, and I'm going to go just do a side angle to the other side, since we didn't do that. So once again, pressing into that foot. The foot is, the toes are facing directly ahead. The back foot is turned in. We're pressing into the outer edge of the back foot. You can slide back a bit so that you have space here for your leg. And we're up once again back into warrior pose. We're pressing out, pressing out, pressing out, pressing out, and then dropping our forearm down and extending our arm to our ear. And we feel the diagonal from the tip, tip, tip of our upper finger to the outer edge of our foot, and pressing back through our thigh. And making sure that our ribs aren't sticking up, so that we're actually trying to extend both sides of our torso. And then we're rotating our chest up towards the sky, wherever it is. And here we are, feeling a sense of openness, and the breath moving in, expanding us, and then releasing us. Moving in, expanding us, and releasing us. And we may find as we inhale that our chest opens, that we can rotate our chest a little bit more to the ceiling. Our breath is really an activator. And now we're going to come back up and find our legs again. We can scoot to we can have our legs out like this, and we can bend down and put our feet on the ground, our hands on the ground between our feet. And you can have your toes turned out. And this is just a forward bend, kind of an open leg forward bend that mimics what we do. If we were on the ground, we could, in fact, put our hands here, and then we could put our head down, and then we could do a tripod headstand. So we just let our head go, just let it relax. We don't want any stress at all in our neck. And we're pressing into the ground and feeling our elbows are bent, and we're pressing into our feet too. So we're feeling a lot of energy in our body, even though we're just sitting on a chair. And now we're going to just, you can come back up with a straight back here. And we're going to bring our feet in. It's amazing how it's quite warm here, so I'm working up a sweat. All right. Now, I want us to hold on to, I'll move the chair around here so that we are, there. I'm just going to hold on to the back of my chair. I have my feet on the ground. I'm about halfway, I'm a little bit to the front of the chair, holding onto my chair. And I'm just going to do a little bit of a back bend here, because we've been doing some forward bends. So pressing, holding onto the back of the chair, pressing my collarbone up, and my heart is being extended. And this is a lovely stretch in our upper spine. So you shouldn't feel anything torturous here. And as I breathe, I have a very open chest, so I'm imagining my breath is just coming in like a really lovely wind on a summer day, just enlivening me. Ooh, making me sneeze. Okay, good. And we're just pressing into our feet and pressing and straightening our arms and really opening our chest here. And then we're going to come back, and we're going to come over, and we can hold on to the outside of our legs, of our knees, and we're going to round down. So this is the equivalent of cat and cow, right? This is the opening of the chest. And then we're going to come back down and really feel spine rounding. And once again, we're opening our chest. As a writer, I've spent so many years in front of a keyboard that this is a very lovely movement for your upper back. And we're breathing here. And once again, we're going to come back down and round our spine. Good. All right. We'll come back to the front. And I'm going to do some toe exercises, which I quite like. So I have my 10 little toes here. They're painted red so you can see them. And I'm putting them on the ground, just the toes, and I'm pressing into the ground here. And I'm walking them back underneath the chair, and I'm really pressing the ground, and I'm leaning forward, so you don't want to fall off the chair. So you can move your behind back and just press into your toes and really, really stretch them. Now in Yin, there is a posture called toe squat, which is where you sit, you put your toes like this, and you shouldn't, your ankles shouldn't be splayed out like mine. You should have your ankles and your feet spreading forward. And you squat on your heels. So this really adds a lot of pressure to the toes. This is a more modest version of the toe squat in the chair yoga, but it does similar good things. And now we're going to just turn our toes under and press into the tops of our feet. You might feel some cramping, in which case you could just take your feet out and wiggle your toes and get rid of the cramp. But pressing into the tops of your feet. So this really helps you do an oppositional movement. And yoga is based on oppositions, moving in one direction and then the counter movement. So we'll try the toes again, pressing into it, pressing into your toes. And you can lean forward, adding a little bit of pressure. And when you've had enough, you can go back to stretching your toes out in the other direction, really giving your feet a lovely workout and your arches. And your feet, they say, I've said this before, but they say that, once again, we're ready to keep doing this for a few minutes while I talk, but the reason your toes matter so much is because they say that toes are extremely important for longevity, because older people, comme moi, and maybe like you, that toes help our balance, and that when we fall over the age of 65, an incredible percentage of people are dead within so many years, because falls can be so devastating. And so if we have very supple toes, it helps with our balance. And I'm just going back and forth again. And it helps us live longer. Who knew? Who knew our toes could be such magical longevity machines? All right, so we're putting our feet down. Good. Now I'm going to work a little bit with my neck, and I'm taking my glasses off, so you can jiggle around a bit. And I'm just going to now I'm just going to tip my ear to my shoulder and feel the extension in the neck on the opposite side. And then I'm going to inhale and exhale as my ear moves to the opposite shoulder. And then I'm going to inhale and feel, and once again, inhale and to the other side, and then exhale. So I'm just moving back and forth, breathing, feeling that the breath itself is helping with my neck. And now I'm going to take my neck, I'm going to work with the diagonal. I'm going to work with this side of the neck as though it's moving up towards the corner of the room. And I'm going to look up into this corner of my eye. So this is an eye exercise. So I'm looking up into the corner. This is moving up. It's actually quite a strong motion. And I am feeling an opening in the neck. Now, if you feel terrible discomfort, do come up. But I find this really helpful. And they say that the connective tissue takes about 90 minutes to start to loosen up. Sorry, 90 seconds. So if we hold it for a little while, we're going to be doing a more benefit. And I'm breathing here into my whole body, my belly, my ribs, my upper chest, and now I'm exhaling. And now we're going to come up, and we'll try the other side. So I'm dropping that down to my ear, and I'm feeling this diagonal side of my neck moving up towards that corner, and I'm looking up in that direction. So I'm exercising my eyes here. And we're inhaling and we're exhaling. And let's inhale 2, 3, 4, hold 2, 3, 4, exhale 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Inhale 2, 3, 4, hold 2, 3, 4, exhale 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Good. And now bring your neck up. And we're going to turn and look over our shoulder. While we're looking over our shoulder, our eyes are moving as far as they can in that direction. So we're moving, we're looking over our shoulder, and our head is rotating here, and we're breathing. So we'll take 2 breaths here, and then we'll move slowly to the other side, and we'll inhale, and we'll exhale. Inhale and exhale. And we're coming back, breathing. And we're going in the other direction. And we're coming back. Good. All right, now we're going to drop our head, our chin to our chest, and we're exhaling, and we're going to look up between our eyebrows. So we're crossing our eyes. We're looking at the third eye between our eyebrows, and we're breathing here. Then we're lifting our head up. Now, I can't really bend my neck to my head to the back, so you can lift your head up, and then you can drop your head to the back. I'm not allowed to do that because of my neck, but and when you're doing that, you can look at your nose and cross your eyes. I like this because it's a bit like children's play. So look at your nose and cross your eyes, and then drop your chin to your chest and look between your eyebrows and cross your eyes. And then lift your head up, and you can, if you're able to, drop your head back and look at your nose, and then drop it down and look between your eyes. And once again, up and then down. Good. Now we're going to do just a few. We're going to do just a few twists here. So I'm going to invite you just to move towards your right, and you can hold on to your thigh and the side of your chair here, and you can hook your shoulder over top of the back of the chair, or you can hold on to the back of the chair some way. And then I'm pressing into the back of the chair because I want this movement is, I want to move from my waist and then my chest and then my upper chest. So I'm moving from the bottom, and I'm also lifting up at the same time. I'm feeling that what's called axial extension of the spine. So we're imagining the spine from the tailbone all the way up to the head. The bones in your ears are actually part of your axial spine. And we're feeling that we're moving up and around. So once again, we have this beautiful, sweet tension in our spine that is allowing it to really open. And we're pressing into our feet. We can press into our feet to give us a little bit more of an upward movement. And we're breathing here. Breathing. And now we're going to release, and we're going to move to the other side. So I'm holding onto my thigh or at the side of the chair, and then I'm going to take this arm, and I've moved it over the top of the thing, or you could hold on to it in a different way, whatever works with your chair. And I'm actually pressing into the back of the chair here to give myself some tension to work with. So I'm pressing into my feet. I'm feeling my spine lift up as I go around, and I'm looking over my shoulder. And I feel a sense that I could just keep spiraling around and around and around. So the image is of a spring that is turning round and round and round. And as we move round, we're moving up. And we're breathing here. And we're pressing into our feet. This is a very active pose. Our legs are very strong. And we're moving up and around and breathing. And now we're coming back to the center. And I'm going to roll my shoulders out because they're a bit working hard. And I'm going to shake my legs out. And I'm going to shake my whole body and jiggle. Now, jiggling, they say, there's some scientific papers that say that jiggling can be quite healing. It does something to your molecules and gets you all reorganized in a good way. All right. So I think with this, I'm just going to invite us to some breath and some final relaxation in the chair, which is just finding a space that is comfortable for you. Now, I like to put my fingers in a mudra, which is your thumb and your index finger, and you can rest them up like this. And I am feeling that my feet are grounding me, and also that I'm grounded through my thighs and through my tailbone that's moving into the earth. My head is moving up. And I'm just going to invite us to do a little bit of a body scan at the end of this class and feel that our toes are letting go and that the soles of our feet are letting go. Our feet are letting go, our calves, our knees, our thighs. We feel the beautiful weight of our body on the chair. And we feel our torso is beginning to let go. Our chest is letting go, our shoulders are dropping down the back of our back body. Our collarbone and our chest are letting go. Our arms are letting go. And if you like, you can let go of the mudra and you can let your hands dangle beside you, whatever feels relaxing to you. And once again, we're inhaling like we're drinking a glass of water into our low belly, and then our ribs, and then our upper chest. And then we're exhaling from the top down. And we're going to do inhale again. And exhale. And I'll count a little bit, extending the exhalation. And I want us to feel a sense of emptying out, like we're a river emptying into the ocean. There's a beautiful flow of energy through our body. So we're inhaling 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4, exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And you can, of course, breathe in your own rhythm, if you like. Inhale, hold, exhale. Inhale, hold, exhale. Inhale, hold, exhale. And I'm just going to leave you for a moment or two of silence, just breathing, feeling your body opening and extending, and inhaling and exhaling, like a tree on a summer's breeze. We feel we might sail away with this breath. And we feel as we exhale all that ails us moving out and away. And as we inhale, we sense that self-compassion and care that allows us to love others and to empathize with a world. And I'll invite you to feel some movement in your toes, and in your ankles, in your knees, in your fingers, in your wrists. And you can stretch your arms up and stretch your legs out. And you can put your feet down, and then you can move from side to side, just arching over like a tree in the wind, moving back and forth, feeling that sense of release and pleasure, because there is so much pleasure in exploring our bodies. And I'm just feeling that opening in our body that we have developed over the last while. So I want to thank you for joining me, and I want to encourage you on your journey to self-compassion. And I want to dedicate the merit of this practice to us here who have committed to our yoga chair and our yoga mat. And I want to dedicate it to all who are suffering in the world. Deep bows to you. Thank you. See you next time.